Hello, everyone, and welcome. If you're a data professional and you're looking to bring AI into your workflow, but maybe you're not sure where to even begin, then you've come to the right place. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through exactly how to use this amazing service right from the ground up.
So here's what we have planned. First, we'll cover the basics, what Cortex is and why it's such a big deal. Then, we'll get hands-on and write our very first AI query. After that, we'll explore the main functions, look at the entire suite of tools, and even touch on some advanced stuff, like customization. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about something really important, costs and best practices, so you can use Cortex AI smartly and safely.
All right, let's start with the big question. What exactly is Snowflake Cortex? You know, it's not just another feature. It's really a whole new way of thinking about AI within a business. To really get it, you have to ask, why has using AI in a large company been so difficult until now? Well, the biggest problems have always been about security and just the sheer complexity of it all. Let's dig into that a little.
Now, this slide really shows the game-changing shift. The old way, right, it involved taking all your sensitive private company data and shipping it out to some external AI service. As you can imagine, this created huge security risks, major compliance headaches, and incredibly complex data pipelines. Snowflake completely flips that around. With Cortex, the AI models are brought directly to your data, running safely inside the Snowflake environment you already know and trust.
And here's the crucial part. Cortex is a fully managed service. What does that mean for you? It means no GPUs to set up, no servers to manage, no infrastructure headaches at all. You just get immediate access to these incredibly powerful language models and search tools that can work on your data instantly, all within that secure, governed Snowflake environment.
This diagram here shows just how deeply Cortex is woven into the very fabric of Snowflake. It's not some separate tool that's just bolted on. It's a core part of the platform. It integrates with the query engine to seamlessly connect you to amazing AI models, and you never have to leave your Snowflake worksheet to use them.
Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's move away from the theory and actually see how you can run your first AI query. I think you're going to be pretty surprised at just how easy this is.
Really, there are only two things you need to do to get started. First, you need the right permissions. Your Snowflake role needs a special database role called snowflake.cortex_user. Once that's sorted, you just open a new worksheet in Snowsight, and believe it or not, you're ready to start using AI. Now, this is typically a one-time setup that your account administrator will handle. They'll run this simple grant command to give your role access to Cortex. It's a really important security step for controlling who can use these powerful and, yes, potentially expensive AI functions. Okay, here it is, your very first AI query. We're using the complete function, which is the main tool for generating text. And look how simple it is. It just takes two arguments. First, the name of the AI model you want to use, in this case, Meta's Llama 3-8B, and second, your prompt, which is just the instruction you want the AI to follow. It's really just a simple SQL query.
And just like that, in a few seconds, you get a response from a state-of-the-art language model right inside your SQL worksheet. This is the magic of Cortex AI. There's no Python code, no APIs to call, no moving data around, just the familiar SQL that you use every day.
The complete function is an awesome starting point, but Cortex offers so much more. Think of it as a complete toolkit of specialized AI functions, and each one is designed to solve a specific business problem. Let's have a look at some of the most powerful tools in this toolkit. You can do everything from summarizing long documents and translating languages to analyzing customer sentiment. These aren't just cool tricks, they are genuinely practical solutions for real-world data challenges.
So, let's put these to work. Imagine you have a table with thousands of customer reviews. Instead of someone having to read through all of them, which would take hours, you can just use AI Summarize to get a quick and accurate summary of every single one. What a massive time saver.
And on that exact same data, you can run another function. Let's say you've just launched a new product. You could point AI_sentiment at a table of social media posts to instantly get a pulse on whether the reaction is positive, negative, or neutral. This is incredibly powerful for tracking customer satisfaction at scale.
Okay, but what if those reviews contain sensitive information, like names or phone numbers? Before you can share or analyze that text, you have to make it safe. Well, the AI_redact function is an absolute game changer for privacy. It automatically finds and removes that personal information, creating a safe, anonymous version of your text that helps you stay compliant with rules like GDPR.
These individual SQL functions are fantastic, but Cortex is actually even bigger than that. It also includes more complete services that are built for very specific kinds of data challenges.
This slide breaks it down nicely into two main parts. On one side, you have Cortex Analyst. This lets your business users ask questions about your data in plain English, like, show me which products had declining sales last quarter. Then on the other side, you have Cortex Search, which acts like your own private Google for all your internal company documents and unstructured data.
Now, what if you need a model that's an expert in your specific industry or knows your company's unique jargon? Well, that's where fine-tuning comes in. It's an advanced feature that lets you customize these AI models for your very specific needs. So the key thing to understand here is that you are not training a massive AI model from scratch. That would be incredibly expensive and take a very long time. Instead, you take a powerful base model and simply show it examples from your own company's data. This helps adjust the model's behavior, turning it into an expert on your specific subject matter and improving its accuracy for your unique tasks.
Of course, with all this incredible power comes a great deal of responsibility, especially when we talk about cost. Using these AI services is not the same as running a normal data warehouse, and it's absolutely essential to understand how you're being billed so you can avoid any nasty surprises.
I want you to take a good look at this number, $5,000. And no, this is not a made-up example. This is what one company actually paid for a single Cortex AI query. Let's talk about how that could possibly happen.
The reason for that shocking cost comes down to something called token-based billing. See, unlike traditional computing where you pay for time, with Cortex AI, you often pay for the number of tokens, think of them as pieces of words, that the AI processes. That includes both your input and the AI's output. A single query on a very large table can process millions of tokens, leading to a massive bill if you're not paying attention.
So how do you use Cortex AI safely and avoid this? Well, first, always choose the right model for the job. A simple task doesn't need the biggest, most expensive model. Second, and this is critical, always filter and reduce your data before you send it to the AI function. Third, be aware that some services can cost you money even when they're idle, so be sure to suspend them when they're not in use. And finally, you absolutely must monitor your usage and set up cost alerts to catch any spikes before they become a real problem.
Snowflake Cortex AI makes bringing artificial intelligence to your company's data easier than it has ever been before. The technology is here and it's ready. So the key question you have to ask yourself now is, are your governance and your cost controls ready for it too?